Alrighty, what is quacking, everybody? The Nintendo Switch Direct just happened, and oh my god, was this thing an outright banger? They were showing off this console, and they were like, oh yeah, you talked about, the worries about this Switch console not being strong enough. Here's how strong it is. This console is a beast, and we're getting a lot of third party love with this console. They were showing off a lot of third party games for this thing. They were showing off Elden Ring, which was a surprise to me. I didn't think it was going to happen. I fully expected Elden Ring to come like maybe like a year or two afterwards, maybe if the Switch 2 was strong enough. But no, they were like, here's Elden Ring. We're also getting a new Firm Software game. I don't think it's going to be Switch 2 exclusive though. I think they're just like, yeah, here's a new Firm Soft game, and it looks exactly like Bloodborne. It's not. It's like called Dust Blood or something, but it has the aesthetic of Bloodborne, and it looks amazing. We're also getting Borderlands to the console. It's probably going to run a little bit jank, but there's some confidence there. So Borderlands 4, we're getting a bunch of EA games, Wild Heart. We're getting EA Sports games as well. We're also getting a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and we're getting Civilization that utilizes the mouse functionality of the Switch, which is absolutely amazing that they're going to start having it so you can use a mouse for these games. And they didn't show anything in the direct, but hopefully, maybe if we're lucky, we'll get some kind of Nintendo gaming keyboard that can further utilize, games and can be played keyboard and mouse style. That would be absolutely fantastic, because they have like two USB-Cs, one at the bottom, one at the top. If they just let us plug in a keyboard that, like, it doesn't have to be a full keyboard either. It can just be like a Nintendo based keyboard with a very specific amount of, buttons on it. So it's very ergonomic and people can just use that for different types of games. That would be amazing. I would like that for Splatoon, please. If they could do that, that would be great. But just with third party games in general, I believe we're also getting Cyberpunk 2077. I think they said something like that as well. So if we're getting Cyberpunk, we're getting these big, honking games on the console. That's just a testament to how strong this, console is going to be. They put effort into this thing. They really beefed up this console. It's going to have a 1080p handheld screen, along with a lot of, it's like an LED screen, but they made up for the fact that it's not going to be OLED. A bunch of people are like, oh, it's not OLED or whatever, but they really, worked on the screen dynamics, and it looks fantastic. There's also, like I said, the mouse functionality with the Joy-Cons, which is absolutely insane. And also the Joy-Cons are going to be connected magnetically to the console, which you shouldn't be dropping your console anyways, but that's like my one concern, is if like the force dropped is really great, if that like will mess with it. I don't think so, but there is like a latch, there's like a switch on it that lets you demagnetize it or whatever. So that's my only concern, is like if it's not demagnetized, is it gonna like still mess with it? Perhaps, like, I guess we'll see like those hydraulic press channels and those people who stress test systems like this, where like, yeah, let's see how much of a beating it can take. So hopefully if you just drop it from your bed or something, and your bed's not that high up, it won't do any damage. You never know with these things. You can drop things from such a short height, they break. But we have that with the Joy-Cons. There's also, they're adding like a camera chat feature as well, and it gives like a lot of 360 PlayStation 4 vibes. They're going to allow you to share your screen, use a camera so you can video call with people, and just have a regular party chat function, which is insane that they're doing this. I don't think it's needed these days. Everyone just uses Discord these days. I think PlayStation and Xbox have the Discord app on them nowadays as well. So it's like we have all these different ways with Discord, and that's kind of the primary way. But this is definitely catering to their wider audience, because Nintendo already has a big audience. They have people who don't use technology like that whatsoever, and they don't go on Discord, because Discord's a whole environment. Like, it's a whole different type of beast in and of itself. It can be very confusing. I tried getting like an IRL friend in Discord once, and they were just like, bro, I don't even care or understand. And it's like, all right, that's cool. Like, you do you, I guess. So, but Discord's a whole other beast. But having something that's so intuitive, push of a button, stream to friends, like very intuitive, which is really solid. Like, they make it easy so, you can just play with people, and that's cool. And they're also adding a feature where it's like the DS. If you played in the DS area, my gray hairs are showing. You played when the DS was out. You had games that let you do local play, and you only needed one game cartridge. They're adding that functionality back, which again, very consumer friendly, very awesome. It's great. Like, we used to have that with Mario Kart on the regular DS, where you wouldn't get to pick your character if you didn't have a game cartridge, but you could play as Shy Guy, which was still cool, and you could play the game, Clubhouse games. I believe there was some other games as well. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but they just allowed you to play them locally, one game cartridge. And that's what they're allowing here with this system as well. And that is amazing. That is fantastic. And you can do it online as well. I believe they said online, that you can just do it online, which is amazing. It's just all very consumer friendly and amazing, and it's going to allow people to rope in and experience things. Obviously, that probably not having the game cartridge, your experience is going to be dumbed down a little bit, because I think they said you could do it with Mario Kart. Obviously, you probably won't get to pick out the racers. Clubhouse games, that should be fine. It's whatever, but it's definitely great that you can actually play with other people and have that ability to be that person who's like, okay guys, let's play whatever, let's do all that. So it's very cool that they're having all of these really great functions and features. And another feature they're adding is the upgrade feature for a lot of their first party games. Zelda specifically, they're adding like an upgrade pack, which instead of going out and buying a whole brand new Nintendo Switch 2 game, they're like, here, buy an upgrade pack. If you have it physically or digitally, just put it in, buy the upgrade pack. Your game's going to run a lot smoother. And that's another consumer friendly thing. I don't know how expensive it's going to be. Who knows? It might be $5, $10. If it's more than $20, you're kind of pushing it a little bit, but $20 or less, totally fine with that. And to play, a game you already own at a higher quality is a very good consumer practice as well. It's just very consumer friendly. Having that upgrade pack. And on top of that, some games are getting some extra DLC, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I love Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I did challenges for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That was my first game I ever beat without getting hit as like a challenge on my other channel. I think it's linked somewhere if you want to go watch it. And I also streamed it on twitch.tv/Yum42. And that was fun. And I'm getting to go back and play it because they're adding new content to it, which is amazing with these upgrade packs. And it's just so hype. And to be fair, like I said, these days people use Discord and stuff. So this chat feature you're seeing behind me, not really relevant to me, definitely relevant to other people. You can see how choppy the screen sharing is as well when you're watching it. Like, that's for obvious reasons, probably. They're not using an ultra super amazing graphics card. And it's definitely probably a good graphics card because it's, beefy and able to run some of these bigger games that we're getting. But it's definitely probably, encoding and stuff like that is probably going to be a little bit more difficult. So it's still cool that this is now a feature. Are they late to the party? Yes, they are. But is this still something nice to have as a standard? Yes, it is. So it's very great. And the fact that they're adding like a Connect thing too with the camera, you can do stuff in Mario Party with it and, play different things with the games, even video chat with people. That's very cool. And like this could be a strange way for elderly people to connect with their grandkids or something as well. These days, elderly people know how to use stuff like that. But your Gen X or grandparent, maybe they want to play some Clubhouse games with you. And like, oh, little Timmy, turn your camera on. I want to see your face. I miss you because I live in Florida where I'm retiring and you live in like a state that I hate because it's too cold. So something like that would be very cool and probably something that is very realistic as well. As long as you get to, the whole purpose as well is to see people's facial reactions as well. But in modern day streaming and stuff like that, it is what it is. You don't really need that too much. And also something they added as well is they obviously added, the very real upgrades. They added more storage on it. It's 256 gigs, I think they said. Also, they're adding a fan to the dock to help your Switch not overheat with the gaming. And also, it can get up to 4K docked, I believe, with certain select games, which, again, is just showing people, hey, no, they brought their A game to this new console. Like, hey, we're going to bring our A game to this console. Granted, they're probably still using some outdated parts to make it cheaper. Nintendo does try to make a profit off of their consoles, unlike, Xbox and PlayStation, where they take a loss on their consoles, but they gain it back with software sales. But with Nintendo, they're like, here's all this. We're, with how technology rapidly evolves today, probably all this stuff is, as powerful as a PS4 Pro, like a lot of rumors were stating, but it's still going to be cheap and it's still going to work very well. Right now, IGN's posting like price reports and stuff like that. I think it's $450 in the US, so that's a great price point. We're also getting a bunch of all the different peripherals as well. We're getting the camera that you can grab. We're also getting a new GameCube controller because they're releasing a GameCube virtual console. So we're getting a GameCube Wavebird as well that you can connect, which is totally cool. So, they're bringing the GameCube, which is nice. Everyone's been waiting for that for so long. And you can still play all of the other classic virtual consoles as well with the expansion pass plus. So it's just really nice. They brought their A game with this. And then, first party titles, we're getting Kirby Air. We figured out what Sakurai's been working on this whole time. Kirby Air Ride. He's been working on Kirby Air Ride this whole time, which is, it is what it is. It's Kirby Air Ride. I don't know how, because it's a racing game, we're getting Mario Kart. Like, anything trying to compete with Mario Kart isn't going to do well, but we're getting a Kirby Air Ride, which is going to be fun as well. It's probably going to feel different. It's made by Sakurai, so the game is going to be peak. Sakurai puts so much love into his games. Smash Brothers, older Kirby games. Those games are amazing, so Kirby Air Ride's probably going to feel phenomenal if you play it. And obviously Mario Kart Worlds or Mario Kart 9, whatever you want to call it, is coming out. It's got that's this crew aesthetic where you can just drive around, which is amazing. And then also we're getting a 3D DK game that they showed off, and we haven't had a 3D DK since Nintendo 64, which is amazing. I talked about Donkey Kong a while ago on this channel, a long time ago, and we have it. We finally have a 3D Donkey Kong. They changed how he looks, though, and that's why he looks the way he does in Mario Kart Worlds. When people were looking at him, I thought it was going to be like Donkey Kong Jr. or something like that. No, it's Donkey Kong. They just changed how he looks, and he looks like how he does in the new 3D Donkey Kong. But it's just so hype. All this stuff is just so hype. I will say the gaming lineup, as good as it is, as good as all the games are getting, all the third-party games, I think that was their biggest thing, is showing off these big third-party games to maybe coax more third-party developers into, making software for the system as well. And, showing people that, hey, this is our system. We are, stepping up there now. Like, this is us. We are at, the upper echelon. And it's amazing. Love all these new games coming out. Love, the AAA games. I'm not going to be playing all of them, obviously, but very hyped for the new Nintendo games. I was expecting a 3D Mario. That is something that is wild that we did not see here. Typically, we'd see a 3D Mario. Odyssey came out with the Switch. I believe Galaxy was there with the Wii as well. Mario Sunshine with the GameCube. They weren't necessarily launch titles, but they were within the first year of the life cycle. I know Mario 64 launched with the Nintendo 64, I believe. So there was no sight of a 3D Mario. We got a 3D Donkey Kong. We got a 3D platformer, which also, the 3D Donkey Kong showed some 2D aspects as well. So it's like a Mario Odyssey, but with Donkey Kong and new mechanics as well. He's punching through things. But we did not see a 3D Mario. That tells us that 3D Mario is not ready yet. Because Nintendo treats Mario is their baby. So we're getting some type of Mario experience, and that's going to be hype. The Nintendo Tree Houses are tomorrow as well, and they're going to show off more of the games and stuff like that, which is going to be cool. But it's very strange to not have a 3D Mario. They're obviously giving some other games more time in the light. The initial launch library is still good, and stuff coming out, a couple months afterwards is still good. Don't get me wrong, but they're also relying on the fact that we can play Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. So you can just load them up, which is awesome. It means I don't have to worry about new games. I can just play on a stronger system. I can just enjoy my new, better, stronger system. And that's great. I love that. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be getting Switch 2 like day one. I'm pre-ordering that day one. I'm getting that. I'm getting the Switch 2. Like, that is going to be my thing. So I'm getting it so I can play the games on a better, stronger console. I'm a sweaty gamer like that. I'm very interested to see how Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to run on this thing, because it is stronger. They didn't, show Scarlet and Violet with the update pack right away, but they were showing a lot of Switch 2 versions of the game. So you can buy them Switch 2 or Switch 1. Like AZ, I believe, is going to have Switch 1, Switch 2 versions. Metroid Prime 4 is going to have Switch 1, Switch 2 versions. But they're really trying to be like, you should buy the Switch 2 version, though, because it's going to be better. You can still play it on the Switch 1, but you should get it on Switch 2. So they're being very encouraging with that, and that is what I'm going to be doing, is buying the games on the Switch 2, because new console, new thing, it's going to be great. I'm getting my money bag ready for this thing. My money bag is about to be slammed down on whatever retailer I get this console from, GameStop, Best Buy, wherever. I'm walking in with a money bag, just my credit card, and then slamming it on the counter, gently sliding it into the machine and crying at how much money I'm going to be spending. But this is absolutely so hype. Mario Kart is going to be launching the same day. They're going to having a bundle. I think they're doing digital bundle though, but I want my shit physical. I like my shit physical. So it's just going to be a banger console. And like, I feel like Nintendo knows that, like, they put in a lot of effort into this, don't get me wrong, but like, they know they can coast on the fact that this is backwards compatibility. There's going to be people waiting, and if people just want to get it right away, they can. And it's not going to be at the detriment to the consumer. It's like, oh, hey, like, I can just, if your Switch is on its last leg, because there's a lot of you that play Switch who got the Switch, when it first came out, or you're not rocking a new Switch. Your Switch has been on its last leg for the last 6 years. Time to upgrade. So y'all can start upgrading your system. This isn't a break the bank system either. I think I said earlier, I don't remember if I did, but IGN posted that's going to be $450 USD. That is not a break the bank system. Like when PS5 and the new Xbox came out, that was a break the banks. That was $600. So you're spending $600 and then what, getting like a game maybe, or maybe not. Like, you don't know with that stuff. But with this, it's only $450. That's not too bad. That's a large portion of one of my paychecks for sure. But like, I'm still gonna have money to buy, a Pro Controller and, a game or two. Like, I'm still gonna have the funds for this. Like one paycheck is gonna go to like an entirely good, amazing experience with the Switch 2. And it's gonna be phenomenal. So that's what's nice, is like, this is gonna be cheap, easy for people to get into, upgrade. Also, as we're seeing right here, I just remembered the Pro Controller, they're adding buttons on the back. That is something a lot of people, or not a lot of people, like a lot of the companies don't do. Like, so I don't believe, PlayStation Pro controllers have that, or Xbox controllers have that. But the fact that they're giving us they're like, here you go, here's an extra button mapping, is crazy. They're embracing it. Like, they're embracing a lot of things here with the mouse controls, with all these different things. So I'm hoping we get a keyboard attachment. That is my one future hope, is we get a keyboard attachment and we can play some of these games mouse and keyboard. And another cool thing for the tech nerds out there, they're having a game that is going to allow you to explore the Switch's development and stuff like that, the different innings and outings and workings of it and all that stuff. And you like go up to like these different things. It's like a game, and there's like tech demos in it and stuff like that. And that's really cool that you can just kind of like explore it a little bit from the comfort of your own home and explore how it works and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be cool. I think it's going to be useful for modders, maybe for people who are going to mod the system. This is probably going to be a hard system to crack, perhaps. Maybe not. Maybe it's just, you know, sticking in the new SD card. Our old, you're using like a different SD card for storage as well. You're going to need a different SD card. You can't use one from your previous Switch. But you can do a lot of, you know, different type of storage transfers as well. You can transfer your game storage. You can do a lot of different things with the new Switch console. And this is just fantastic. It feels good. It doesn't feel like your typical gargle junk that the other consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, you know, come out with, where it's just like, oh yeah, like when PS3 and Xbox 360, they're like teraflops. Like, no one cares. They didn't give us like any fancy, you know, terms or anything. They just said, look, here's the strength of this thing. They gave us, you know, the resolution, told us different things, but they still kept it kind of just, you know, on topic for the game. So like, you know, here's some slight, you know, here's why it's better with these, you know, different things, the screen and performance of the dock and stuff like that. But like, here's the games. The game should tell you how strong it is. Here's what we're focused on. Here's the camera. Here's the new features. Like, here's all this cool stuff. Instead of like what other, you know, the other Sony and Microsoft, what they do, like, you know, what they're just like, oh yeah, you know, here's this cool thing on the console. And it's just like, bro, people just want to play games. Like, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is we just want to play some games. And I feel like Nintendo just nailed it with this one. Like, this is a certified banger. And now we're just, you know, obviously people are going to wait, and we're going to wait for, you know, the next, you know, big games. So hopefully we get a direct, like an actual, you know, game presentation or whatever. They're switching to the Nintendo Today app for their news and stuff like that. So Nintendo is very much making everything a Nintendo thing, and it is an intuitive experience. The Nintendo Today app is really nice. I enjoy it. I like my little Pikmin stuff that I have every time I open up to it. Seeing all the cool stuff that they produce every day with, you know, the Zelda Orchestra stuff they did, like yesterday, I think. There was like a Pikmin comic that I got to read that had a couple pages. Very cool. And all this stuff is coming June 5th. In 2 months. Just a little over 2 months and a couple days, we are getting the Nintendo Switch 2, which is very soon. I am hyped for it. It's going to be great. So I'm going to make a lot of videos on it in the future when school calms down a little bit as well. I have a bunch of videos on the back burner right now. I think they just need thumbnails. I'm just being lazy about it because I got like a programming assignment. This is like a personal thing for me. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for making it here. But like, I try and post videos as much as I can and, you know, do things. But I'm a full-time college student as long as a full-time worker. So I, you know, do what I can, make what I can, when I can. If you want to see some other videos, I post videos on another channel as well with Splatoon and stuff. And, you know, I have a TikTok, social media. I get to stream a lot easier. Streaming's a lot easier. Twitch.tv/Yum42. But I will be posting a lot of videos when school calms down for me and I'm done with this giant coding assignment and papers that I have to write. But that's all for me. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one in the future. Take care. Peace.